Okay guys, and welcome to the Elder Sim Racing. This is the GR3 JTCC season finale rerun. Well, when I say rerun, relive. Unfortunately, I missed this race on Monday due to other commitments, and I thought I would give you guys the pleasure of doing the yeah. So I was just checking that I was heard. Just doing the rerun of the final round of the PJ Parcels JTCC GR3 League from St. Croix. I believe it was a close race, and I believe Lee Fitzy and of course Craig Thomas, both the cousins, eventually ended up on tied points at the end of the evening. So sit back, grab a drink, grab something to eat, or you do whatever you need to do, and we will get into hopefully the replay in a minute. I'll go through who started where on the grid, and also just a bit of recap for those who don't know exactly what happens in the JTCC. Basically, you have 10-minute stints on softs, mediums, hards. Depending on what compound obviously you start on, you must use that compound for at least 10 minutes. It is a 50-minute race, so if you're on the softs, you have to be on them for 10 minutes. Then you go on to either the hards or the mediums, and if it was raining, it would either be wet or intermediates, obviously. But we'll go through the grid in a minute. It looks like it was at St. Croix on the C circuit, so I believe the C is the longer of the two, but well, out of the three rather. But yes, it is Hoppers in the commentary box doing the re-live, so if you can hear me, please let me know. If you can't, then please do let me know as well. And do let us know what you think, and do subscribe to the Elder Sim Racing, and also do like this commentary, because I believe it was an interesting 50-minute race. I wish I'd seen the race live, but as I say, I did have a commitment. So we'll go through the grid. It looked very interesting because, from what I'm seeing here, the couple of cars had changed their liveries for the final round. But we do go through the grid, and before we get underway for the race, we'll go into a different. I didn't want to do that. I do apologise. Still new to replay, so we'll go through who was around. So we'll go on to the obviously the whole lot. So it looks like Chris Wheatley was pipped to pole position by Lee Fitzy, followed by Craig Thomas. So that's Lee Fitzy's cousin. So the second of the Supras that you see here. Chris Wheatley in the green and, well, it was the green and white VGT. It is now a red, blue and white VGT with the Welsh flag on. Then you had Fast Portuguese making fast pace. I believe he's got a nice black livery for this evening by the looks of it. Then you had Stu Shelton in the other Supra, so it's a VGT and Supra on the first row, so Supra VGT followed by Supra VGT followed by Supra followed by series host Brian Ross in the claret and blue. So it's Supra. Then you had Nate Fletch in the I believe, I have no idea what that was all about on the back of that car though, but isn't really suitable. So you do have Adam Morgan and Nate Fletch in the Supras. Then you have Brian Moncani in the NSX, the beautiful blue and green NSX, fantastic looking. Then you had Nathan Rambat making a series return. I believe he had work commitments, so he missed the last couple of races. Then you had Dean Atkinson making it in the Lexus RCF, which is the sole Lexus RCF. Then you had I believe, I can't remember who that is roughly, I think that was Duarte in the NSX. Then you had Dan Cope in the VGT, and then Steve Stones at the rear of the field. So we'll get underway in a moment or two. So yes, guys, let us know what you think, and you know, this should be an enthralling 50-minute race. It is 50 minutes. You do have to swap tyres. Fuel was a major factor though, from what I heard over the last couple of weeks, but we'll go on board with Lee Fitzy for the start, so you get to see the start gantry, and we will get underway in about a minute. So yeah, excuse me. So the JTCC GR3 League had provided some close, exciting racing throughout the championship, and we did have Croix Thomas taking astounding 4 race wins, but you know, he obviously had his title nemesis, and not only bragging rights for the family, but having his cousin Lee Fitzy push him all the way. So we are about to get underway here at Croix for the final round of the PJ Parcels JTCC GR3, and we are about to get the green light to appear on the starting gantry any moment now. The revs are building, and Lee Fitzy bogs down a bit at the start. Who gets a good start? It looks like Duarte in the Honda NSX lurking in the background. Looks like he's got a decent start, but it looks like Chris Wheatley has got that first place going into turn 1. It looks like that the Supra of Croix Thomas has dropped back a bit from Fast Portuguese. At the moment it looks like it is a lot of action packed going on towards the latter part of the circuit. This is going to be, well, second part of the circuit, should I say. It looks like you've got Brian Ross side by side at the moment, going down into Fast Portuguese. Makes a move, outbrakes himself though. Well, it was a bit of a shame. He tried to obviously make a move, but it looked like it dropped him back a bit. Then you've got Dan Cope and Stu Shelton, I believe, is ahead, but it's Nathan Rambox under pressure from Adam Morgan as well. So it looks like the Supras are trying to gain up on the VGT at the moment. The VGT, Fast Portuguese, trying to make amends from that dive bomb moment. He's got Nate Fletch ahead of him, then you've got Steve Stones, and then you've got the Lexus of Dean Atkinson trying to push on quite a bit. It says Supra killer on the back of it. It looks like the Supras are getting away at the moment. You've got the NSX of Oliger or Duarte, I can't remember which is who. He's got Brian Moncani behind him and Fast Portuguese, and then unfortunately Nathan Rombat at the tail of the field. Then we've got Chris Wheatley now in the blue and white VGT, the second blue and white VGT. It's easy to tell because we do have Dan Cope is more blue. Then we have Lee Fitzy, championship nemesis to Croix Thomas. Croix Thomas at the moment in the place, trying to chase down his cousin, and not only chase down his cousin but also chase down Chris Wheatley. Then of Brian Ross up into 4th, trying to make probably trying to make amends for a few couple of rounds where he's missed out a bit. Stu Shelton sparks along the wall there, but he's going to be pushing on. We'll see exactly what's going on further back. And Nate Fletch in that subway and weird sponsored car. We've got Dan Cope from company chasing him down. It looked like Dan Cope is trying to hold off Steve Stones at the same time as Duarte, and of course Dean Atkinson in that Lexus, the Super Killer Lexus as he calls it, for some bizarre reason. It looks like that Duarte is going to try and get that move done. Then you have Fast Portuguese and Brian Moncani have a bit of a battle, so the Portuguese and the Belgian, and another Belgian within Excalibur, and Adam Morgan there in 13th, Excalibur 14th. But it looks like it's been action packed already. The race is like 50 minutes long. Oh, Nate Fletch gets a bit crossed up, so does Dan Cope. They both go grass cutting. We'll see what's happening at the front. You've got Lee Fitzy trying to chase down Chris Wheatley in that VGT. The VGT will on board with Lee Fitzy for the time being, just to get some idea as we start the second lap here at Croix. And it is still a long way to go in this race. It can be pretty much exciting as we get right into the battles. It is going to be close as you like, because looking at Chris Wheatley there in that VGT, he's trying to get away from Lee Fitzy at the moment, but it seems to me that Croix Thomas, his championship leader, is going to have to try and push on and perform an absolute miracle to try and win the championship. You know, he's obviously on course to try and wrap it up. We've got Brian Ross and Stu Shelton still trying to battle. Then you've got this battle between Brian Moncani and Fast Portuguese. Obviously Dean Atkinson escaping a bit of the road at the moment, but from what I'm seeing here, you've got Fast Portuguese trying to make a move. Has he got it done? Yes, he has. But it looks like Dean Atkinson's trying to lose that toe, trying to get away from the VGT and SXs, as well as Adam Morgan in the background in that black Supra. Believe you me, the Supras have been dominant this season, but we do have a lot of battles ready for this evening's race. What was happening on Monday, you got Duarte trying to push on. Steve Stone's now 12th, Dan Cope 13th, and Nathan Rombat's at the back of the field. But at the moment, Lee Fitzy has got Chris Wheatley. We didn't see that because we were having a look at what was going on, but it's going to be very close, because I believe Lee Fitzy wants to try and get away and try and eke out that advantage to try and get up to his closest nemesis, which is his cousin Craig Thomas. So Craig Thomas in third place at the moment, Brian Ross still in fourth. We'll go back to the battle between Chris Wheatley and of course Lee Fitzy. At the moment it's going to be spectacular going over the bridge into this left hand bend. You know, St. Croix is not the easiest circuit to get right as well, especially going down the hill, as well as a lot of undulations, as well as probably one of the most narrow points is going over to that bridge before you get over that. It looks like we do have Brian Moncani escaping from Fast Portuguese and Adam Morgan alongside Dean Atkinson as well. So it looks like Dean Atkinson, Steve Stones is also lurking in the background. He's trying to push on, trying to get up to these guys. We'll go on board with Fast Portuguese in that VGT, just looking in the mirror, but we see Adam Morgan there trying to make a move. Is Adam going to make the move? Yes, he does. Dean Atkinson goes one way. Is he going to take the both of them? Let's see what happens. Is he going to try and take them both? Oh, it looks very interesting. It looks close. Looks close as you'd like. Breaking. Adam Morgan gets the move done. No, but Fast Portuguese closes the door on Dean Atkinson there. Steve Stones in the VGT, the other VGT, the black and yellow VGT. As Fast Portuguese tries to make a move on Adam Morgan. Bit of door banging action there, but it shows exactly how well it can do. But Fast Portuguese back up into 8th place now. Adam Morgan under threat from Dean Atkinson's Lexus RCF. And then obviously Steve Stones has dropped down a bit. We've got Duarte trying to push on quite a bit. Dan Cope in the VGT flashing his lights at the moment. And then obviously Nathan Rombat's in 14th place. Let's see what's going back up the field. The Fitzy as we start lap number 3, pushing on quite a bit. It is going to be probably spectacular to see exactly what will happen. But we do have Lee Fitzy getting away from Chris Wheatley, now followed by Craig Thomas. Is under threat from Brian Ross just, but Brian Ross will have to try and push quite a bit on to try and get to the back of Craig Thomas there. But you've got Stu Shelton in the other Supra, so you've got Supra from VGT, from Supra and other Supras. So we've got the Supra of Lee Fitzy leading the way. Nate Fletch in 6th place from Brian Moncani, followed by Adam Morgan. Fast Portuguese loses it. I don't know whether it was contact with himself and Dean Atkinson. Steve Stones into 9th place, followed by Duarte, Dan Cope, Excalibur now, and Dean Atkinson and Fast Portuguese. Fair play to them. They obviously give each other a bit of, looked like it was a bit of contact, so you know. But Lee Fitzy at the moment pushing on, trying to get away from looking like he's trying to get away from these guys at the moment. It looks like we're going to be in for a battle between Craig Thomas and Brian Ross. We'll go on board with Brian Ross if we can. We'll go on board with the Supra here, going down the hill. Before we get to the bridge, this is where the overtaking manoeuvres can happen, but if you're not careful you can clip that wall and it will cost you a bit of time. But we do have Brian Ross trying to chase down Craig Thomas for third place. At the moment it looks like Stu Shelton also trying to catch up to these guys as well, so it could be a 3-car battle for third place any moments. But looking at the Super, then you've got Nate Fletch having a bit of a gap from Brian Moncani though. Brian Moncani in that beautiful blue, yellow and probably pink and of course green NSX, proper nice car. Obviously Adam Morgan trying to chase him down. You've got Steve Stones in that VGT, then you've got Duarte, and then obviously Dan Cope and Excalibur, Fast Portuguese, and Dean Atkinson still having a bit of a battle for 13th. So anything can happen. Look what Dean Atkinson's doing to Fast Portuguese at the moment, but it does look like we are heading for some kind of amazing action this evening here at St. Croix. Obviously, you know, it can be pretty much brutal, especially when you try and make some overtaking maneuvers, because some parts of the track are kind of narrow, but like going here, it's kind of, you get the move done here, you can easily set yourself up for the next couple of bends. But it looks like Fast Portuguese did hold up there. We do have, looking likely at the map at the moment, there is quite a lot of cars in contention. But it looks like that Brian Ross has caught up to Craig Thomas there. Craig Thomas, the championship leader, is suffering. He goes a bit wide. Goes a bit wide on the final turn, which is allowed Brian Ross to pull alongside. Craig Thomas doesn't want to be giving away too many spaces. He ducks back in behind Brian Ross, and he's got to be careful. Stu Shelton will launch an attack if he's not careful. But you've got Craig Thomas there doing a stellar job trying to keep it together. Looks like Stu Shelton also got a bit loosey-goosey, but fair enough to him. But it's looking likely Nate Fletch trying to get away from Brian Moncani, which he is doing. Obviously we're missing Bruno Batica. Unfortunately Bruno's commitments or personal issues have got in the way of racing. I hope everything is okay, mate, and hope to see you next season. Adam Morgan in 8th, Duarte now in 9th, followed by Dan Cope, followed by Steve Stones and Nathan Rombout's Fast Portuguese, and Dean Atkinson still at the rear of the field. But looking likely though, Brian Ross has not escaped from Craig Thomas at the moment. Craig Thomas, the Welshman championship leader. Craig has had 4 wins this season, and it is going to be spectacular to see whether he can win here at St. Croix this evening, trying to get another win and trying to push quite a bit, and maybe he will have a bit of a challenge for this evening. But it is looking likely at the moment though, he's going to try and push on to the back of Brian Ross. He's lost a bit of ground now, because Stu Shelton, I do apologise, he's trying to push on quite a bit as well. And then you have Dave Fletch, followed by Brian Moncani, and then obviously Adam Morgan. Duarte now up into 9th, followed by Dan Cope. Dan Cope trying to push on, trying to make this season more thrilling end for him, because you know he's pushed on quite a lot. He's improved bit by bit. He's just had a few issues there and then, but you know that's just part of him, and you know he'll come back stronger hopefully next season. We've got Steve Stones in that yellow and black VGT trying to chase down the other blue and white VGT of Dan Cope. Excalibur, Nathan Rombout in 12th, followed by Dean Atkinson. Now has got past Fast Portuguese, but it looks like Fast Portuguese will try and get past him again. It looks like we do have a lot of close proximity racing between the VGT and the Lexus RCF, which to me the Lexus RCF though is going to be sparks upon the wall there. Could have easily ended in disaster. We'll see what's happening further up. But Brian Ross in 3rd place, followed by Craig Thomas, and then you've got obviously Stu Shelton clipping the grass. You've got obviously Nathan Fletch trying to push on quite a bit. Is he going to be pushing quite a bit to try and get a good result. You know, he's had a bit of misfortune. He's got Brian Mulcahy in the Honda NSX, followed by Adam Morgan, followed by Duarte, and then you've got Steve Stones now finally gets past Dan Cope. It looks like some of the guys are jumping into pit lane at the moment. So that's Chris Wheatley up into pit lane. So it's a Supra 1, 2, 3, 4 at the moment. So depending on where Chris Wheatley is now, Supra 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it looks like the pit stops are going to be a major factor here this evening. So it looks like Chris Wheatley now rejoined in 8th place. So it looks like Steve Stones and Dan Cope also jump in. So that will push a couple of guys like Fast Portuguese and Nathan Rombout and Dean Atkinson up into 10th, 11th and 12th. So it's going to be spectacular racing. I'll tell you what, without these pit stops and without all these tyre wear, it wouldn't be close as you like. I hope you guys are enjoying the stream. Drop us a comment and let us know what you think. So you've got Lee Fitzy and Brian Ross from Craig Thomas. Craig Thomas trying to now launch that attack. Now he's trying to get back on level terms. He's trying to obviously go on board with Craig, going down towards the tight left bends here, the double left. So the double L, as I'm going to call it, for here at St. Croix. And it's going to be spectacular racing. I can't believe exactly how well Craig Thomas has driven this season. You know, he's championship leader. He's going to have to try and push quite a bit. It's going to be close as you'd like. But Brian Ross there trying to defend like mad from Craig Thomas. Craig Thomas, though, he's never going to give up. He's never given up. He's always been on the limit. He's had a few moments where the likes of Laguna Seca, but you know he had obviously a couple of wins, back-to-back wins, and then he's pushed on. He's not giving up, trying to this championship lead. Just going over the bridge at the moment. He's trying to get up to Brian Ross. Brian Ross is trying to push him on quite a bit. He's looking likely that Craig's going to try and get the move down the hill. He's going to try and get that move done, is he? Or is he just backing off because he just doesn't want to make a mistake? So there we go, we'll see exactly what's happening further back. We'll join that battle if we can. Nate Fletch in 5th place, rather. Brian Mulcahy slowly but surely being gained by Adam Morgan. It does look like though we are going to be on for an interesting battle. Chris Wheatley in 8th at the moment, with Duarte pushing quite a bit. Then you have obviously Excalibur from Fast Portuguese and Dean Atkinson and Steve Stones and Dan Cope. Now Lee Fitzy doing a stellar job. He's probably going to have to pit this lap though because the fuel may run out, but we'll see exactly what is happening with these guys. We do have Brian Ross still under threat, as you can tell. Craig Thomas there, he's pushing that Supra. He's trying to push that championship leading Supra to back up into 2nd. He needs to be able to try and push quite a bit, because not only has he got that battle for the championship lead between himself and his cousin, it looks like, you know, Craig is now, they're both going to go into pit lane, so they're going to take the battle into pit lane. So Stu Shelton does exactly the same. Nate Fletcher will probably do the same, as well as Brian Mulcahy. So a couple of guys, the whole field are going to try and push, so that gives Chris Wheatley the lead of the race. So that's going to be close as you like. So Chris Wheatley will have a bit of a gap, but what's this? Lee Fitzy's pit crew has pushed him out into 2nd place at the moment. What a stellar stop that was. So that's going to be close. It looks like Craig and Brian Ross are going to be pushed out. Craig Thomas gets pushed out in 4th, Brian Ross in 5th. Duarte now in 3rd. Looks like Craig Thomas has got that advantage on Brian Ross, but Stu Shelton and Nate Fletch followed by Adam Morgan, Brian Mulcahy as well. Fast Portuguese and Excalibur now jump into pit lane. So does Dean Atkinson, so that will gift Steve Stones and Dan Cope a couple of places. But it looks like to me at the moment, though, looking from what I'm seeing, Chris Wheatley is going to have Lee Fitzy trying to get back up into the lead of the race. It does look like we are in for some exciting racing. It's so hard because I don't know exactly how long is left on the time, but we shall see. Doesn't really tell me, but that's a bit unfortunate. But hopefully we will get a better view. We'll have a look at going on board with Lee Fitzy for the time being, trying to chase down Chris Wheatley for first place at the moment. Chris Wheatley wants another win in that VGT. The VGTs have been also kind of near enough dominant, but nothing can stop these Supras. The Supra that is kind of like that VGT in front, but the Supra is to a JTC, or the JTC Super GT GT3 regulations. That VGT is an absolute spectacular car. I'll tell you what, I cannot believe what I am seeing, and it is going to be close as you like. Cheers Darren, thank you mate. So it looks like they have done about near enough 19 minutes in this race. Cheers buddy, much appreciated. Wish I knew that. But yes, it looks like Lee Fitzy has got that move. What has happened to Chris Wheatley though? While we were trying to figure out what was going on, he's dropped down to third, so it looks like the VGTs are struggling. But whether Craig Thomas, the championship leader, is going to push on, so it looks like it's going to escape from Brian Ross. So, you know, anything can happen. So, you know, Stu Shelton under threat from Brian Ross here. So it looks like the Supras are going to be raging. The Supras do look like the class of the field though. You know, are they amazing? You know, the VGTs are also class, but you know, the Supras, these Supras, the Supra concept, the GR version, it looks like to me they've been on top form. Stu Shelton escaping from Brian Ross. Brian Ross now tries to catch back up to him. Edney Fletch in 7th, followed by Adam Morgan and Brian Mulcahy. Steve Stones though, 10th place in the VGT. Oh, he gets it crossed up just as we join him. He goes around, almost does like a flick of the handbrake there, but he doesn't, but it almost looked like it. Duarte, I believe that is Duarte, and the other one's Ollie Gero, so I do apologise yet again guys for getting your names mixed up. But Duarte and VGT, Steve Stones down 13th, Dean Atkinson in that Lexus RCF having a bit of a poor time running in that Lexus. It looks like Lee Fitzy will have the race covered at the moment. Looks like Chris Wheatley though in that VGT will try and chase him down. VGT and Supra's, the lights at the front looking so evil, but you know, it's like an absolute fantastic race, especially in these dusk conditions. It spices it up quite a bit. It looks like we do have Brian Ross now trying to be putting a move on Stu Shelton for 4th place at the moment. He ducks one way, ducks the other. Is he going to get it done? Probably will do. We've got Brian Ross trying to make that move. The white headlights of Brian Ross versus the yellow headlights of Stu Shelton. I've gone board with Brian for a moment or two just to see how well it's going to happen, but it looks like to me Brian Ross will come and put Stu under a lot of threat. So yes guys, it is the final round of the JTCC GR3, brought to you by PJ Parcels from St. Croix. So it is going to be close because the next round of pit stops could be in around probably 8 minutes time, so it could be close as you like. We'll see exactly what happens within elsewhere, so we'll go elsewhere on the grid. Lee Fletch trying to chase these guys down. Adam Morgan though got Brian Mulcahy for potentially 7th place. It looks like the NSX has caught considerably. He's flashing lights trying to get past Adam Morgan. We're on board with Brian Mulcahy. We'll just look to the side at the moment. But yes, it's going to be spectacular. Adam Morgan though, oh, he's under threat. Looks like that Brian Mulcahy is going to try and get the move done as they go across the bridge. No, he's not. But it looks like Brian Mulcahy and that NSX is going to try and push away. and trying to push on again to try and get past that Supra of Adam Morgan. Olivier, I do apologise. Has he got a problem with his tyres? Because he looks like he was weaving about there. You've got Excalibur trying to be chased down by Dan Cope, but Dan Cope and Fast Portuguese runs a bit wide there, so Duarte has lost ground on Dan Cope for a couple of minutes. It looks like Dean Atkinson now up into 13th, so Steve Stones has probably had another mistake. Actually, he's gone into pit lane, so it looks like Lee Fitzy there actually pushing quite a bit for the lead. He's got a miles gap from potentially Chris Wheatley in that VGT. Craig Thomas though in third place. Looks like Stu Shelton has literally got away from Brian Ross. Brian Ross though trying to still push on. Nate Fletch also in the other Supra. So the gangs of Supra from third down up until Brian Moncani's moment. So he's finally got past Adam Morgan for second place. Adam Morgan looks like he's going to try and push on and try and get past him if he wants to, but it seems to me at the moment the NSX probably trying to push quite a bit. It seems the NSX does have quite exciting battles this season. He's been involved in some major battles. He did get a podium at Coyote, and you know, Chris Wheatley now jumps into pit lane, so maybe his medium and his fuel rate is pushing. He's going to obviously trying to make amends for whatever his strategy is. It looks like Craig Thomas though will now try and catch up to his cousin. It looks like the two cousins are going to take this battle right towards the end. Stu Shelton third, followed by Brian Ross fourth. Looks like Nate Fleck down fifth. It looks like Chris Wheatley though has got back up into... Adam Morgan ran a bit wide, probably clipped the wall and it slowed him down. So that's now Chris Wheatley back up into 7th place. Brian Moncani still in 6th. Brian Ross though in the front of Nate Fletch going into this turn. Looks like it's got Supra battles. Brian Ross gets a wiggle out of that turn there, so I do apologise for a bit of moments, but we do have Nate Fletch trying to be pushed on from Brian Ross. Brian Ross actually series organiser of the JTCC GR3 division, and he's done an absolute stellar job this season, I must say, bringing in some fantastic racing. He's got Stu Shelton third, followed by Craig Thomas now trying to latch up to his cousin, but it looks like Craig's a bit far behind at the moment. It looks like Brian Ross still has that Supra of Nate Fletch trying to chase him down, followed by Brian Moncani in the Honda NSX. It looks like the NSX versus Supra will rage on. This battle is probably going to be quite a bit. We do have a bit of an interesting battle between Adam Morgan and Chris Wheatley, but it looks like Chris Wheatley's going to try and hold off Adam Morgan for quite a bit. Dan Cope though at the moment in that VGT, obviously he's still trying to get amends for his racing, but his yellow flag, oh, it looks like Olivier has got it wrong there into 9th place. So that's cost him a bit of time now. Adam Morgan still in 8th, Chris Wheatley now 7th. But it looks like Brian Moncani and the two Brians, Brian Ross and Brian Moncani, having a bit of a battle. The NSX gets past that Supra, finally gets past, but Brian Ross will not give up in the claret blue Supra. So we do have obviously Chris Wheatley in 7th, followed by Adam Morgan, followed by Olivier, and of course Dan Cope. Dan Cope flashing his lights. I don't know whether he's just flashing it because he's just pressing the button, or it's just the way he is, but he's pushing on to the back of that NSX. Got Nathan Rombout in 11th. Fast Portuguese though, I haven't seen much of him for a bit. In 12th, Dean Atkinson now 13th, and Steve Stones 14th. Lee Fitzy though pushing quite a bit. It's coming up to near 29 minutes, so we're not far off the halfway mark of the race. Craig Thomas's cousin trying to push on quite a bit as well, and obviously Stu Shelton, followed by Brian Moncani and Brian Ross. These two are going hammer and tongue. This is fantastic racing between these two. These two have had stellar battles as well this season, and it looks like to me that Brian Ross will have a bit of a moment trying to push on, trying to get up to Brian Moncani. It looks like that they're going to be going for another lap. It does look like Adam Morgan though jumps into pit lane before, you know, he's got a bit of issue. Nate Fletch though having a bit of an issue. He's got his left hand indicator on, trying to distract Dan Cope though, because Dan Cope is coming on a great speed and not. Oh, it looked like they're both going to pit lane now, but Ollie Gerard there into 7th, Nathan Rambout, Fast Portuguese now 9th and 10th. So that's allowed Adam Morgan's also in pit lane. Dean Atkinson now will push up a bit, and Steve Stones will also do the same. But it looks to me Brian Moncani though has Brian Ross. The gap to Brian Ross has now grown, so it looks like Brian Ross will have to try and catch up quite a bit. We do have Chris Wheatley trying to push on for some time. He's going to try and get that VGT back to where he wants it and where he feels comfortable, and we do have some stellar racing so far. It is going to be amazing to see how well these guys go. I can't believe exactly how things are going to pan out, but we do have a lot of battles going on. So we'll see exactly what is going to happen. Chris Wheatley there in the VGT trying to chase down Brian Ross's Supra. Looks like Ollie Gerard's trying to lose a bit of warmth in them tyres. It looks like Excalibur Nathan Roundbounce. He's got Fast Portuguese trying to breathe down his neck. And it looks like Morgan though has Dean Atkinson for company. And then obviously Dan Cope and Nate Fletch. Nate Fletch looks like he got a bit loose. Still got that indicator on. Don't know whether he realises he's got the indicator on just for distraction or whether it's just because of the bits and pieces. But it's looking likely at the moment though. Lee Fitzy, just seeing what he's doing here, playing it cool with obviously 31 minutes, just over 30 minutes just gone. So you know it's going to be close as like it can be. A very interesting battle between the two cousins. I did say it could be very interesting between these guys towards the start of the evening, and it will be close as you like. I can't believe exactly how well things are going, but we do have Stu Shelton in third from Brian Moncani as the camera decided to have a bit of a jump. We do have Brian Ross now currently trying to get away from Chris Wheatley's VGT. Chris Wheatley's VGT though is on fresh tyres. He's got to be careful because that fuel gauge, you know, his amount of times he's had to go into pits because of the top of his fuel. You don't have to worry about the fuel length for a while, but it can eat up the fuel if you're in an interchanging battle. It looks like Nathan Rombout though is in an interchanging battle with Duarte and of course Ollie Gerard. So the VGT, Supra and NSX battle. So the three cars could be potentially on for a good course of a battle here. So it's nice to see Nathan Rambout back on the grid after missing a couple of races, but fair play to him, he's not giving up. Now he's got Fast Portuguese and he's also got Ollie Gerard, the two Portuguese drivers trying to push on quite a bit. Ollie Gerard gets a bit loose, that NSX a bit loose. I like to call it the loosey-goosey NSX of the racing, but it looks to me with 33 minutes on the clock, just coming up to 33 minutes on the clock, we are on for a close proximity race. Adam Morgan now looking a bit feisty. He's gone into pit lane again, probably to top up fuel, but he's doing a stellar job at the moment, trying to keep Dean Atkinson behind him. Dean Atkinson in Lexus RCF, the only Lexus of the championship as well. You know, the car is a spectacular looking car, but you know, it can be quite a handful. We do have Nate Fletch and of course Dan Cope. Dan Cope trying to lurk in the background. Go on board with Dan Cope's VGT as he tries to go and push on to Nate Fletch. We'll go at the side. Oh, there's a bit of contact between the two of them. Danko gets the move done, so Steve Stone's in 14th. Lee Fitzy and Craig Thomas are still out in first and second. Stu Shelton still in third. Brian Moncani now fourth. Chris Wheatley now has got past Brian Ross for fifth place. Brian Ross sixth, followed by Fast Portuguese. Has a penalty he's going to have to get rid of, which is a bit unfortunate. That is going to cost him ground now, because Excalibur Nathan Rombounce is going to be there trying to push quite a bit. He's going to obviously want to get past that VGT. The Supra though, the Supra is one of the dominant forces of this championship. It has been from start to finish. Not many people were choosing the GR Supra, from what I believe at the start of the season. They were a bit umming whether it be a VGT dominated or it turned out to be the Toyota Supra. Eventually Oligero in 9th place, followed by Adam Morgan and Dean Atkinson. Dan Cope now has got past Nate Fletch, so Nate Fletch struggling like mad in that Supra, as well as Steve Stones in the VGT, probably trying to push on, but it looks like going on board with Lee Fitzy for a moment or two, just so we can get this interchanging championship battle. We do have Lee Fitzy trying to push on. He probably looks like he may jump into pit lane this lap, because he's almost running on fumes. He does go into pit lane, so that is going to gift Craig Thomas, probably, if Craig gets enough gap. It all depends though, because I've seen guys that make pit stops, and don't get me wrong, it looks to me that Craig's going to have to push on quite a bit. You can see on the left hand side the fuel going into that Supra. It's obviously is he gonna top it up to maximum? Craig Thomas goes exactly into pit lane because he doesn't want to have another lap, but that has gifted Lee Fitzy the lead yet again. So Stu Shelton in pit lane along with Craig Thomas, Chris Wheatley as well, Brian Ross. So these guys are going to go into pit lane again. So we do have obviously Duarte with his penalty. He's got rid of it now, but is he going to push on quite a bit? It's going to now be very interesting, because Craig Thomas comes out in second place. He's coming up to 37 minutes on the clock. Craig Thomas there though, championship leader. He's got Lee Fitzy ahead of him. It's a bit of an interchanging family battle, but from what I'm seeing so far, that Craig Thomas, if it did go and it was a tie break, then it'd probably go to Craig Thomas because of the number of wins he's had this season. Stu Shelton in third, doing an absolute stellar job this evening to try and get that other Supra onto the podium. Brian Moncani though trying to get away from Chris Wheatley. Brian Ross though in sixth as well, so they came out roughly where they went into pit lanes. Adam Morgan in seventh, followed by Dan Cope and Nate Fletch. Fast Portuguese though doing a stellar job trying to catch up to Nate Fletch at the moment. Oligero, I do apologise, 11th, Nathan Rombounce in 12th, followed by Dean Atkinson and Steve Stones at the rear of the field at the moment. It does look like though, from what I'm seeing, Lee Fitzy though is going to be probably pushing quite a bit, because we do have some exciting towards the end. This is obviously the latter part of the race, coming up to obviously very interesting season. It is the final round of the championship, and we do have quite some spectacular racing ongoing. Brian Moncani though trying to escape. He's actually escaping quite well from Chris Wheatley in that VGT. The VGT probably not up to scratch this evening. It looks to me that we do potentially have a bit of a battle towards the end, but obviously Brian Ross there trying to exactly push on and try and get away from, or try and get up to Chris Wheatley should I say, but it looks like going across the bridge at the moment. Brian Ross has got a bit of a gap. You have Adam Morgan trying to push on for clip. Oh, he nearly clipped the wall there onto the bridge. He ran a bit wide. Nate Fletch also trying to get. It looks like Dan Cope though has lost that position back from Nate Fletch. But from what I'm seeing at the moment, Dan Cope flashing his lights all the time. Probably as a distraction tactic. You've got Duarte and Oligiero going for 10th and 11th. And it looks like Excalibur and Dean Atkinson and of course Steve Stones at the moment. So we do have the Fitzy doing an absolutely stellar job. What has his championship campaign been like? Well, it's been, you know, he's had a win and he's had a couple of podiums, but you know, it's probably down to also getting the fastest laps and getting pole positions as well. Craig Thomas, his cousin, having 4 race wins this season. But looks like Stu Shelton tried to push on quite a bit. Obviously Brian Moncani and Chris Wheatley. Now Chris Wheatley getting that VGT back up into that rhythm. It looks like that rhythm though is going to be very close, because that VGT now is on a song and dance. You know, it's going to be close as you like, because we've got that NSX trying to defend from the VGT. The VGT have gone board. Chris Wheatley for the time being trying to see exactly what he will do. It's going to be very close as you like. So you've got Chris Wheatley there pushing and pushing. He's going to try and push Brian Moncani all the way. He's going almost into his boot, going down the front straight here at St. Croix. It looks like he has got side by side with Brian Moncani. Gets the move done, that VGT now back into the room. Looks like Brian Moncani clipped the wall though there. He's not giving up, getting back onto Chris Wheatley. So we've got 10 minutes of this race to go. It's going to be a very interesting 10 minutes. It probably will be fast paced as well. But looking at the battle, Brian Ross has an eagle eye view, but Brian Moncani is not afraid to make a move. Oh, he tries to make a move there on Chris Wheatley. Oh, near enough. But it looks like that Brian Moncani may have Chris Wheatley. Oh, he's got the move done. He's got the move done. What a stellar move. Chris Wheatley there in 5th place, followed by Brian Ross in 6th. Now Adam Morgan 7th. Oligiero and Nathan Rambouts in 8th and 10th. Dean Atkinson now 8th and 9th rather. Dean Atkinson, fast Portuguese, for 10th and 11th. Dan Cope 12th. Nate Fletch 13th, and Steve Stones at the rear of the field at the moment. Looks to me though the closest battles we've got are between Brian Moncani and of course Chris Wheatley in the NSX and VGT. These battles have raged on for quite some time. I'll tell you what, this has been spectacular racing here at St. Croix. It does look like though Chris Wheatley will have try and get another push to try and get past that NSX, but he's slowly but surely going to be running out of time now. But it's going to be close as you like. Coming up to 8 minutes on the clock to go. Could be close as you like. Brian Ross though lurking in the background trying to see if these guys make a mistake, but it looks like Brian Moncani though having a bit of a threat from Chris Wheatley. Chris Wheatley gets the move done again, but these two are absolute neck and neck. It looks to me that we do have a bit of a battle on our hands for that place there. Looks like to me Nathan Rambouts though doing a stellar job in 8th place from Oligiero there. It's going to be very close. Dean Atkinson now 10th. Fast Portuguese. Dan Cope escaping from Nate Fletch. And of course Steve Stones struggling in that VGT this evening, but he'll probably push on for quite some time. But we do have obviously, like I say, Craig Thomas there trying to push, trying to get up to his cousin, but he's the gap to his cousin. But looking at this, Chris Wheatley and Brian Moncani side by side going across. It's going to be close as you like. Oh, a bit of contact between the two of them. Looks like Brian Moncani has got Chris Wheatley in his sights. Chris Wheatley though, what can I say? He's got the moves. He's got that VGT up into that river now. Stu Shelton in 3rd place though. Fair play to him. Brian Moncani's got to be careful though. He doesn't want to lose too much ground. otherwise he'll have Brian Ross for company close enough. But it does look to me that this race is going to be spectacularly raced. It's been absolutely amazing. Adam Morgan 7th, Nathan Rambout in 8th, followed by Ligero, and of course Dean Atkinson 9th and 10th. Fast Portuguese in 11th, Dan Cope 12th, and of course Nate Fletch 13th. Steve Stones sadly 14th at the moment. But we have got the two Bryans yet again. The two Bryans like to have a bit of a battle, and it looks to me with coming up to 6 minutes on the clock left, this is going to be a thrilling end towards the end of the season. It has been probably one of the most exciting seasons to date, or most exciting races we've seen. Brian Ross though, and Brian Monchiani. Oh, Brian Ross gets a bit loose, it gets a bit, oh, it's spun. Brian Ross has spun, he's lost control. Oh, that's a bit unfortunate for the series organiser, but he lights it up and gets going again. Obviously stalled the car there just as it gets going, but it was an absolute spectacular battle between these two, and unfortunately Brian Ross pushed too hard, so that's going to be allowed Chris Wheatley to try and lose that NSX of Brian Mulcahy. Now looks like Adam Morgan and Excalibur though are trying to push on as well. It does look like Dean Atkinson and Ligero will settle for that place. Fast Portuguese. Dan Cope though escaped now from Nate Fletch. Steve Stone sadly at the back of the field. We do have 5 minutes left. It looks like Craig Thomas though may be on course, trying to see what happens, but Stu Shelton though in 3rd place doing a stellar job. So it's a Supra 1, 2, 3 at the moment, depending on this guy though. And this guy is none other than Chris Wheatley in the VGT. Has he got that dialed up for the latter part of the race? It is going to be close as you like. It's not going to be over until the race, the checkered flag drops though. But I'd say this is going to be close as you like. I've never ever seen a championship finale where it's going to get close and it has gone down to the wire like it has this evening. It does look like we do have a couple of cars though. It does look like though Excalibur did get past does have Adam Morgan for company, but it looks like Ligero though at the moment has Dean Atkinson for company. We're going board with the Lexus RCF. It's got Ligero going across the bridge. He's got the move done, has he? No, he hasn't, because he has now, because Ligero smashed into the wall. Just cost him a bit of ground there, but that's never mind. He will still push on, try and get past that Lexus RCF. It's again Fast Portuguese and Dan Cope trying to have a battle. They Fletch, Steve Stone sadly at the rear, but we do have 4.5 minutes, just under 4.5 minutes remaining in this race. This is going to be close as you like. Stu Shelton has lost a bit of ground now, and Chris Wheatley, I told you that VGT would be on rails. I did say if he's got it dialed up he will get past Stu Shelton for another moment or two, but looking at what we have seen here, it's going to be spectacular. I can't believe how well this championship has turned out this season. You know, obviously I raced the first race at Track and Trails, but you know, I wasn't really getting on with the car, and I just thought, you know, so I just jump in the commentary box, and Chris Wheatley now takes 3rd place from Stu Shelton. This race has been astounding. It has been ecstatic. It has looked like, from what I am seeing though, it probably will go down to the final lap. This could be the final lap of the race, because obviously of the lap time it is like a 3 minute point, 31.2. That's the last lap for Lee Fitzy. But at the moment, looking at Craig Thomas though, is he going to settle for 2nd? But what's it going to mean for the championship? We'll soon find out. But it looks like Chris Wheatley's going to have to try and push away from Stu Shelton if we can. But it does look like we are near enough approaching the end of the race and the end of the season. It has been a stellar season, I must admit. What is season 2 going to bring for these guys? Are we going to see an interchanging rivalry between Craig Thomas and of course his cousin Lee Fitzy, but we'll see what's going on further back at the moment. Does look like Aussie Gerald's lost to Dean Atkinson. Adam Morgan doing exactly the same. Dan Cope and Nate Fletcher. Fast Portuguese probably has had a spin, but it looks like Steve Stone's having a bit of an issue. But we do have quite a bit of time yet before we get to the checkered flag, but it is looking likely Lee Fitzy may take the checkered flag if we are fast approaching the time, but we shall see. It looks like Lee Fitzy though, from start to finish, yeah, may have bogged down at the start, but it looks like he's actually had a spectacular evening in the race. I'm going board with him just for a moment or two, but it does look like we could be on close proximity racing. But Craig Thomas's cousin and his championship nemesis, this is where it's going to hurt, and this is probably where we are going to see what is going to happen. But I'll tell you this, guys, this has been spectacular racing, as we do see exactly what is going to happen. But we do have Chris Wheatley escaping. It does look like Stu Shelton and Brian McCartney now are going to settle. Brian Ross will settle for 6th. It does look like Nathan Rombout will be 7th, Dean Atkinson 8th, Ollie Gerald 9th, Adam Morgan now 10th, Dan Cope and Nate Fletcher 11th and 12th, Thatcher Portuguese and Steve Stones 13th and 14th. But Lee Fitzy will go on to the final lap of the race, but it looks like he will be the only one that will probably have the track to himself. But we will see, because Craig Thomas at the moment, like, going through the final 2 turns of this race, he's going to, obviously, by the looks of it, may have to settle for 2nd place this evening. He goes across to congratulate the team on a stellar drive, so he has going to be the first driver to literally cross the line. But Chris Wheatley come home in 3rd, and I'll tell you what, Stu Shelton in 4th, followed by Brian Montgarney, Brian Ross, and of course Excalibur. Nathan Rombout will come home in 6th and 7th. Dean Atkinson in that Lexus RCF. I hope to see more Lexuses come into the series next season. He will finish 8th from Ollie Gerald and Dan Cope. Looks like Adam Morgan though having a bit of issue. Oh, he's out. Adam Morgan is out of fuel yet again. He's had this issue before. He's crashed into the wall though, which has allowed Fast Portuguese in 12th, followed by Stu Shelton's exactly also run out of fuel. So the guys have run out of fuel at the end, obviously under-fueled, but looking at what we've seen here, Lee Fitzy though, fair play to him, playing it cool. He's obviously, you know, going to take out the race win, but what is it going to mean for the championship? We'll soon find out. He's obviously got his hazard lights on, but poor old Steve Stones though, out of fuel on the last lap. What is going to happen? Because we're going on board Lee Fitzy. Lee Fitzy though is the race leader. It looks to me though Lee Fitzy has got obviously this race sewn up. Obviously his title nemesis, his cousin Craig Thomas, finished 2nd, but what is going to happen? So we'll see what will happen here. We do have, I believe Adam Morgan did make it across the line. Poor old Steve Stones though, ran out of fuel. He's under fueled again. He's gonna have to think of a strategy for next season if he does come back. But it looks like Lee Fitzy, like, going through the final couple of turns now, will take an absolute astounding victory. But what does it mean for the points? Well, quick calculation in my head, it means Lee Fitzy, and wait for it, Craig Thomas have drawn. They've finished joint first in the Eldar JTCC GR3, brought to you by PJ Parcels. What a thrilling end to the championship, oh my goodness. And it just means that, you know, whatever the series organisers and whatever the admin decide and whatever the race officials will decide who wins the championship. But it has been a stellar season from start to finish for these guys. Congratulations to each and every one of you that have taken part. I'd say what, Lee Fitzy will be happy with that race win, but what is going to happen, because both him and Craig Thomas are tied on points for the championship? Oh my goodness. Did we predict this at the start of the season? I don't think we did. But what a stellar drive from these guys. I'll tell you what, guys, it has been an absolute privilege to commentate on this division. I'll tell you what, I do hope, if I do get a chance and I don't have work commitments, I will come back and I will commentate on this league. But it's going to be so hard because I don't know what is going to happen in the next few weeks. But you know, guys, it has been a stellar season from every single one of you. We do have Steve Stone sadly limping home with no fuel. It says fuel pressure has dropped. Nah, that VGT. We'll just look at Steve Stones at the moment in that VGT. But yes, I've been Hoppers for the JTCC GR3 League, and it's been a stellar end from start to finish. I'll tell you what, guys, thank you for tuning in this afternoon. My voice is nearly gone yet again, but thank you guys for an absolute stellar season, and thank you to Brian Ross and also the rest of the admin team at Eldar Sim Racing for putting on some exciting racing for each and every one of you guys. Until next time, guys, who knows what will happen, but hopefully it will be fantastic to see. And I've been Hoppers. Until next week, guys, take care. Ta-ra.